Amin loved the mountains more than anything else. Every morning, he would walk through the narrow paths and dry riverbeds, listening to the wind whisper through the trees. The mountains were quiet, except for the sound of birds and the occasional rustle of small animals in the underbrush. This morning the sun had just begun to rise, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. Amin felt the warmth of the sun on his face as he walked along the riverbed that had been dry for several months. The summer heat had turned it into a long stretch of sand and rocks. He enjoyed the quiet, and sometimes he imagined that he was the only person in the world. As he walked, something unusual caught his eye. A glimmer of metal shone in the sunlight. Amin stopped, squinting to get a better look. He moved closer, careful not to step on loose rocks. What he saw made him freeze. Half buried in the sand was a metal ship. It was small, but unlike any boat or machine he had seen before. Its surface was smooth, and the shape was unlike the traditional designs of any riverboat or ship he had studied in books. Strange symbols were etched into the sides. They did not look like letters from any language he knew. Amin felt a shiver run down his spine. He walked around the ship, examining it carefully. There were no signs of rust, even though it seemed to have been there for a long time. The hatch on the side was slightly open. Amin's curiosity grew stronger, though his heart beat faster with nervous excitement. He took a deep breath and stepped closer. The metal felt cold under his fingers as he pushed the hatch gently. The door creaked but did not fall off. Inside, the ship was unlike anything Amin had ever imagined. The air was cool and there was a faint smell of metal. The inside was divided into small compartments, each containing objects that seemed both ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. There were rows of small boxes with unknown tools, containers filled with materials that glowed faintly, and screens that displayed moving patterns, even though no power source was visible. In the center of the ship, a small chamber held a glowing device. It emitted a soft blue light and hummed quietly as if alive. Amin felt a mixture of fear and fascination. He stepped back and looked around. The ship was clearly not made by anyone in his village. The design was far beyond anything he had seen, even in books about machines and technology from other countries. Amin realized that this was not just a local discovery. This was something that could be important for the whole world. Suddenly he heard a sound behind him. The bushes rustled and Amin froze. His heart raced. For a moment he thought someone was following him, but when he turned around, the path was empty. The wind made the leaves move, but it was enough to make him nervous. Amin decided that he should not explore the ship alone. He needed help. He ran back toward the village, his legs moving quickly over the rough terrain. When he arrived, some villagers were already near the dried-up river, curious about the strange shapes in the sand. Amin took a moment to catch his breath, then began explaining what he had seen. "There is a ship in the riverbed," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "It is made of metal and there are strange symbols on it. I looked inside and there is a glowing device. I think it is very important. We need help to understand it." The villagers looked at him with surprise and fear. Some whispered to each other. None of them had ever seen anything like this. Farid, the village elder, stepped forward. He was an old man with gray hair and a calm voice. His eyes showed both curiosity and concern. "This is extraordinary," Farid said. "If what you say is true, Amin, we must call experts. This could be a discovery that changes everything. But we must be careful. We do not know what is inside or what it can do." The villagers agreed to go with Amin to the riverbed. As they approached, the sunlight reflected off the metal surface, making the ship look even more mysterious. The glowing device inside the hatch could be seen faintly from the outside. It pulsed slowly, almost like it had a heartbeat. Amin could not explain why, but he felt that the ship was aware that it had been found. Some villagers tried to touch the ship, but Farid stopped them. "Do not go near it until the experts arrive. We must not disturb anything. This is not just a piece of metal. It is something far older and more complex than we can understand." Amin looked at the ship again. The symbols on its surface seemed to shift slightly when he was not looking directly at them. The glowing device seemed to grow brighter for a few moments and then dim again. His mind raced with questions. Where did the ship come from? Who built it? And most importantly, what was the device inside? As they waited for help, Amin walked around the ship, careful not to touch anything. He noticed that the sand around it was unusually clean. It was as if the ship had removed the dust and dirt from the area immediately surrounding it. He knelt and touched the sand. It felt different, almost warm under his fingers, though the sun had not yet risen high enough to heat it. Amin's curiosity grew, and he wanted to explore more, but Farid's warning stayed in his mind. By the afternoon, a group of scientists and authorities arrived. They had been called by Farid after he sent a message to the nearest city. The scientists wore gloves and protective suits. They approached the ship carefully, examining the strange symbols and the metal surface. Cameras and tools were set up to record everything. One of the scientists, Dr. Saman, a woman with sharp eyes and a calm voice, studied the hatch. This ship is not like anything we have ever seen. The material is not from this Earth, or at least not from anything in our records. And the device inside, it is generating energy, but we cannot identify the source yet. We will need to open it slowly and carefully. Amin watched as the scientists worked. He felt proud and nervous at the same time. He had found something incredible, but he also realized that his life might change completely. People from all over the world would soon hear about this discovery. As evening approached, the scientists decided to camp near the riverbed. They wanted to study the ship slowly without making mistakes. Amin sat nearby looking at the glowing device through the hatch. The light was calm and steady now, but he could not shake the feeling that it was waiting for something. That night, Amin could not sleep. He kept thinking about the ship and the device inside. He imagined what it could do and where it had come from. The mountains were quiet again, but the glow from the ship seemed to shine even through the darkness. Amin felt that his discovery was just the beginning. The real adventure was about to start. He made a silent promise to himself. He would stay close to the ship, help the scientists, and learn everything he could. He did not know what dangers or wonders lay ahead, but he knew one thing. The world would never be the same after this discovery. The next morning, the sun rose over the mountains, painting the dry riverbed in golden light. Amin was already awake, standing near the metal ship. The scientists had arrived late at night and had begun setting up equipment around it. Strange instruments with blinking lights and antennas surrounded the ship. Amin felt both nervous and excited. He wanted to know what secrets the ship held, but he also understood that the scientists would lead the way. Dr. Saman called Amin over. She had a notebook in her hand and a serious expression. "Amin, we will need your help," she said. "You know the ship better than anyone. We will open the hatch carefully, but you should stay close and observe. There may be things inside that are unusual." Amin nodded, his heart racing. The scientists worked slowly, measuring the air, the temperature, and the metal of the ship. Amin watched as they examined the glowing device in the center of the ship. The light was steady, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. It seemed to respond to their presence, glowing a little brighter whenever someone moved near it. Amin could not explain why, but he felt that the ship was alive in some way. Dr. Saman motioned for the others to step back. She wore gloves and a helmet and carefully reached for the hatch. The metal felt warm under her hands, though the air was cool. Slowly, she lifted it, revealing the inside of the ship fully for the first time to everyone outside. The interior was larger than it appeared from the outside. There were compartments with strange shapes, small machines, and containers filled with materials that shimmered faintly. At the center, the glowing device floated slightly above a platform, emitting a soft blue light. Amin gasped. The device did not touch anything, yet it hovered steadily. "This is incredible," Dr. Saman whispered. "It is using some kind of force we do not understand. There is no visible support or wires, yet it floats and glows." The scientists began taking notes and photographs. Amin could see the fascination in their eyes. He wanted to touch the device, but he remembered Farid's warning. Some things were not meant to be touched without care. As the scientists worked, one of them, a young man named Nabil, opened a small drawer near the base of the device. Inside were thin metallic sheets with symbols etched on them. They glimmered faintly in the sunlight. Nabil held one carefully. "These are not like any writing we know," he said. "They are symbols, but they seem to be more than just letters. Perhaps they are instructions or a map of some kind." Amin leaned closer to see the symbols. They seemed to move slightly, changing shape as he looked. He blinked, wondering if it was his imagination. "It is almost as if the ship is alive," he said softly. Dr. Saman nodded. "I think you may be right. The way it responds to movement and light, it is unlike any machine we have ever studied. We must be very careful." Suddenly, a soft hum filled the air. It was louder than before, and the blue glow of the device became brighter. Amin stepped back instinctively. The scientists paused, looking around to find the source of the change. The ship seemed to react to their presence, and even though there was no wind, a gentle vibration ran through the ground. "We need to study it slowly," Dr. Saman said firmly. "We cannot rush. This ship is ancient, and it may have protections we do not understand." Amin nodded, though his curiosity made him want to explore further. He walked around the ship looking for any other compartments. Near the back, he found a small hatch partially hidden under a metal panel. He pointed it out to Dr. Saman. She examined it carefully. "This is another chamber," she said. "We should open it, but only after we understand the main device. There may be clues inside that explain its purpose." The scientists returned to studying the glowing device. Amin noticed that the hum was steady now, and the device seemed to emit faint beams of light that formed patterns on the walls of the ship. The patterns were geometric, like a moving puzzle. Amin could not understand their meaning, but he felt that they were important. Hours passed as the scientists recorded every detail. They measured the temperature, the light, and the vibrations. Amin helped by noting anything unusual and observing the patterns. As the sun reached its highest point, a sudden change occurred. The blue glow intensified and a soft voice echoed in the room, though there was no speaker. Amin froze. The voice was calm and gentle, but it sounded real. "Who has awakened me?" it said. The scientists were startled. Amin's eyes widened. He could not believe what he was hearing. Dr. Saman stepped forward cautiously. "We mean no harm," she said. "We only want to learn about you." The voice replied softly. "I have waited for many years. You are the first to find me. The world above has forgotten, but I remain." Amin could not believe it. The device was speaking. It was as if the ship itself was alive and it could communicate with them. The scientists looked at each other in shock, realizing that this was more than a technological discovery. This was something that could change humanity's understanding of life and intelligence. "What are you?" Amin asked, his voice trembling. "I am a guardian," the voice replied. "I have been here to preserve knowledge. Those who find me must prove they are worthy of understanding. The world outside is not ready for what I hold, but you may be the ones to learn." The scientists whispered among themselves. They realized that the device contained information far beyond anything they could imagine. Amin felt a mix of excitement and fear. He had never expected this adventure to lead to something that could speak and think. The voice continued. "To access the knowledge, you must understand the symbols. They are not just language, but instructions for the mind. Only those who approach with care and curiosity will succeed." Amin looked at the metallic sheets again. The symbols seemed to shimmer and shift, responding to the voice. He felt a connection, as if the ship was communicating not only with words but with understanding. He realized that this was the moment he had been waiting for. The day passed with the scientists carefully exploring the ship and recording everything. Amin remained close, listening and learning. He discovered that the ship was more than a machine. It was a guardian of knowledge, a protector of secrets that had been lost for centuries. As evening approached, the scientists decided to camp near the riverbed. The glowing device dimmed slightly, but the hum continued. Amin could not sleep. He thought about the voice, the symbols, and the incredible discovery. He understood that the next steps would be even more challenging. They had found the ship, but unlocking its secrets would require patience, intelligence, and courage. Before falling asleep, Amin made a promise to himself. He would learn everything the ship could teach, and he would protect it from those who might misuse its knowledge. He knew that the world above would soon hear about this discovery, but he also understood that some secrets must be approached carefully. The mountains were quiet again, but the ship remained awake, glowing softly in the fading light. Amin felt a strange sense of wonder. He had found something extraordinary, something that could change the world, but he also knew that the real journey was only beginning. The morning sun lit the mountains with soft golden light. Amin woke up early, as he always did, and hurried to the riverbed. The metal ship rested quietly in the sand, its blue glow faint but steady. Last night he had barely slept, thinking about the voice, the glowing device, and the shimmering symbols. Something inside him told him that today would be different. The scientists were already preparing their equipment. Dr. Saman was setting up a small scanner near the glowing device, while Nabil checked the metallic sheets with the strange symbols. Amin approached them quietly, careful not to disturb anything. "Good morning, Amin," Dr. Saman said. Today we are going to attempt something new. We will try to understand the symbols and see if they respond to our thoughts or actions. Amin's eyes widened. The device had spoken yesterday, but now they were going to interact with it directly. He felt both excited and nervous. The scientists explained their plan. They would place the metallic sheets around the device and attempt to use them to unlock information. Amin watched closely as Nabil carefully positioned the sheets in a circular pattern. The symbols shimmered faintly as they were placed, as if reacting to the presence of the scientists. Amin noticed that the blue glow of the device began to pulse more rapidly. The hum in the air grew louder and more musical. It was as if the ship was aware of their actions and was preparing to respond. Amin stepped back slightly, unsure of what would happen next. Dr. Saman spoke softly. "Amin, watch carefully. This is the first time anyone outside of this ship has tried to use the symbols in this way." Amin nodded, his heart racing. Suddenly, the glowing device emitted a beam of light that connected with each metallic sheet. The sheets vibrated slightly and the symbols began to shift. Amin could see them forming patterns almost like pictures. There were shapes of mountains, rivers, and skies. But then Amin noticed something that made him gasp. There were also shapes of people, strange machines and flying objects unlike anything he had ever seen. The voice spoke again, calm and steady. "You are seeing what was preserved. These are records of the past and glimpses of the future. To understand fully, you must focus and open your mind. Fear will prevent understanding." Amin took a deep breath and tried to focus. He had always been curious, but now he realized that his curiosity needed patience and concentration. The symbols responded to him, moving faster and forming images that seemed to tell a story. The first story that appeared was of a civilization that existed long before any human records. People lived in harmony with nature, building cities that seemed to float above rivers and mountains. Their machines were different from anything today, designed to help and protect, not to harm. Amin felt a strange connection to the images. The civilization seemed familiar, though he could not explain why. Dr. Saman and Nabil were equally amazed. They recorded everything, taking photographs, videos, and notes. "This is incredible," Dr. Saman whispered. "It is a record of knowledge that predates history. If we can understand even a fraction, it will change our understanding of the world." The device continued to project more images. This time, Amin saw a different world. It was darker, with cities filled with smoke and machines that moved without care. People seemed frightened, and the harmony that existed before was lost. Amin realized that the ship was showing them both the past and possible futures. The voice spoke again. "Knowledge is a tool. How it is used determines the outcome. The choice is yours." Amin felt the weight of the words. He understood that this ship was not only a guardian of information, but also a teacher. It wanted them to learn, to choose wisely, and to understand the consequences of their actions. As the hours passed, Amin became more confident in understanding the symbols. He could feel the ship responding to his thoughts and intentions. When he thought of peace and harmony, the symbols formed beautiful patterns and scenes of nature and friendship. When he imagined conflict, the images became chaotic and dark. The scientists were astonished. "It seems the ship responds not only to actions but to thoughts," Dr. Saman said. "This is beyond anything we have studied. It is a form of intelligence, a mind inside a machine." Amin nodded silently. He realized that the ship had chosen him and the others to be its learners. Then something unexpected happened. A new compartment opened slowly at the base of the device. A soft glow emerged from inside, revealing a small, smooth cube. The cube floated above the platform, its surface covered with the same shimmering symbols. Amin felt a strange pull toward it, as if it wanted him to come closer. Dr. Saman approached cautiously. "This must be the next level of knowledge," she said. "We should examine it carefully, but I want Amin to be the first to interact with it." "The ship seems to recognize him." Amin took a deep breath and reached out his hand. The cube reacted instantly, floating closer to his palm. A gentle warmth spread through his fingers. The voice spoke again. "You are ready for the first secret. Hold the cube with focus and understanding. It will reveal what is necessary." Amin closed his eyes and concentrated. The cube began to shift and rotate in his hand. Symbols moved across its surface, forming patterns that Amin recognized from the sheets. Then a small opening appeared on the cube and a holographic projection emerged. It showed a series of events, cities, inventions, and people working together to create a balanced and peaceful world. The projection was clear and vivid. Amin could see the people learning, helping each other, and building machines that respected nature. He realized that this was the knowledge the ship had preserved, a guide for the future, showing how humans could live in harmony with the world and with themselves. The scientists watched in awe. They understood that the ship was giving them a roadmap, a chance to learn from the past and create a better future. Amin felt a sense of responsibility. He knew that this knowledge was powerful, and it could be misused if it fell into the wrong hands. Suddenly the cube shifted again, and new images appeared. They showed warnings, disasters, and mistakes that had led civilizations to ruin. Amin understood that the ship was teaching balance, the importance of wisdom, and the consequences of greed or carelessness. Dr. Saman spoke quietly. This is more than science. It is philosophy, history, and technology combined. We must record everything and study it carefully. Amin, you have a special role here. You are the bridge between this knowledge and the world. Amin felt a mix of pride and fear. He had discovered the ship, but now he realized that his life had changed forever. He was not only an observer, but also a learner, responsible for understanding and protecting what the ship held. As the sun began to set, the scientists decided to stop for the day. Amin placed the cube carefully back into the compartment, and the glowing device returned to its gentle pulse. The symbols on the sheet slowly dimmed, as if the ship was resting after sharing the first secret. Amin walked to the edge of the riverbed and looked at the mountains. He felt a deep connection to the land, the ship, and the knowledge he had just received. He understood that the journey had only begun, and that many more secrets were waiting to be discovered. That night, Amin sat near the glowing ship and thought about the images, the civilizations, and the lessons he had seen. He realized that the world outside might never understand the importance of what he had discovered unless he shared it carefully. But he also knew that some knowledge must be approached with patience, respect, and wisdom. The mountains were quiet and the ship glowed softly in the darkness. Amin felt a sense of wonder and anticipation. The first secret had been revealed, but the adventure was far from over. He understood that the next steps would be even more challenging and rewarding. The world might be shocked by what they would learn, but Amin knew that this was only the beginning of a journey that could change everything. The next morning, Amin awoke before sunrise. The mountains were quiet and the air was crisp and clean. He felt a strange excitement as he walked toward the metal ship. The first secret had been revealed yesterday, and now he knew that the ship held far more than anyone could imagine. The glowing device pulsed gently as if greeting him. Amin felt a deep connection to it, but he also understood that the next discovery might be more difficult. The scientists were already at the site. Dr. Saman and Nabil were discussing the symbols and the holographic projections from the cube. Amin joined them, feeling both nervous and eager. Today we will attempt to unlock the next level of knowledge, Dr. Saman said. The ship has already shared the first secret. Now it may test us. We need focus, patience, and careful observation. Amin nodded. He remembered the first secret clearly. The history of civilizations, the importance of balance, and the consequences of greed and carelessness. He knew that the next challenge might be different, even more complex. The team began placing the metallic sheets in a new pattern. Amin noticed that the symbols began to glow faintly as soon as they were arranged. The ship responded immediately, as if it could sense their intentions. Amin felt a warm vibration in the ground, a soft hum that seemed to come from the center of the ship. Suddenly, the glowing device rose higher than before, and a soft voice echoed in the air. To learn further, one must show understanding and courage. Only those who are willing to face uncertainty may proceed. Amin's heart raced. The words were calm but powerful. He looked at Dr. Saman and Nabil. They both understood that this was no ordinary discovery. The ship was testing them, preparing them for a challenge that would go beyond knowledge. Dr. Saman took a deep breath. Amin, we need you to lead this attempt. The ship seems to recognize you. Your focus and intention will guide us. Amin swallowed hard but nodded. He felt a mixture of excitement and fear. He was ready to face whatever the ship would reveal. He stepped closer to the glowing device and raised his hands over the metallic sheets. The symbols began to move and shift, forming patterns that looked like pathways. Amin realized that these were instructions, but they were not simple. The patterns twisted and turned, creating puzzles that required concentration to understand. The voice spoke again. The mind must be open. Do not fear mistakes. Only by learning from them will the next secret be revealed. Amin focused, trying to understand the patterns. Each time he made a correct movement or thought clearly, the symbols glowed brighter. When he hesitated or doubted himself, the patterns dimmed and twisted. He realized that this was a test not only of intelligence but also of patience and confidence. Hours passed as Amin guided the ship through the symbolic patterns. He felt tired, but he refused to give up. The glowing device hovered above the platform, responding to his every action. Finally, after intense concentration, the symbols aligned into a clear path, and the soft hum grew louder. A hidden compartment opened on the side of the ship, revealing another cube. This cube was different from the first. It was larger, and its surface shimmered with a golden light. Amin felt a powerful energy radiating from it. The voice spoke again. You have passed the first trial. The next secret awaits. Approach with courage and wisdom. Amin carefully reached out to the cube. As his fingers touched the surface, the golden light spread across his hands and forearms. The ship's hum became a harmonious tone, and images began to appear above the cube. The holographic projection was more vivid than the first. Amin saw a world filled with challenges and obstacles. There were vast deserts, stormy seas, and towering mountains. People struggled to survive and to build, facing difficult choices. Amin realized that this secret was about resilience, problem-solving, and leadership. The projection shifted, showing individuals making wise decisions, working together, and finding solutions to impossible problems. Amin understood that the ship was teaching them more than knowledge. It was teaching skills that were necessary to shape a better world. The scientists watched in awe. Dr. Saman whispered, "This is incredible. The ship is giving lessons in strategy, leadership, and courage. It is preparing us to use the knowledge responsibly." The voice spoke again. The next challenge requires action. Knowledge alone is not enough. To succeed, one must demonstrate bravery and foresight. Suddenly, the projection changed. The images became more interactive. Amin could see pathways forming through mountains, rivers, and cities. He could direct the people in the images, guiding them through obstacles. Amin realized that this was a simulation, a test of decision-making. He focused on the first scene, a village trapped between a river and a storm. The people in the projection looked frightened. Amin guided them to higher ground, showing them safe routes. The golden light on the cube glowed brighter as he succeeded. The next scene was more difficult. A group of people needed to build shelters quickly, but resources were limited. Amin had to decide how to allocate materials and guide them effectively. He concentrated, remembering the lessons of the first secret: balance, harmony, and foresight. Slowly, the group in the projection built strong shelters and survived the challenge. Hours passed as Amin guided the simulation. Each time he succeeded, the golden light spread across the room, illuminating the ship and the metallic sheets. Amin felt exhausted but fulfilled. He could sense that the ship was satisfied with his efforts. Finally, the voice spoke one last time. You have learned resilience, courage, and wisdom. The path is open for the next secret. Remember that knowledge is a tool. How it is used will shape the future. Amin carefully placed the cube back in its compartment. The golden light dimmed, leaving a soft glow. The ship returned to its calm state, the hum steady and peaceful. Amin looked at the mountains, feeling proud and aware of his responsibility. He knew that the challenges ahead would be even greater, but he also understood that he was ready. Dr. Saman approached him. Amin, you did extraordinarily well. The ship responded to your focus, courage, and wisdom. You are not only discovering knowledge, but also proving yourself worthy of it. Nabil nodded. This is more than science. It is training for the mind and the spirit. Amin, you are the key to unlocking what this ship holds. Amin felt a deep sense of purpose. He realized that his journey was no longer just about discovery. It was about responsibility, learning and preparing for challenges that the world had never seen. The ship was teaching them not only about the past and the future, but also about the skills and values necessary to use that knowledge wisely. As evening approached, the scientists decided to rest. Amin sat near the ship, reflecting on the day. He had faced the first real challenge and succeeded, learning the importance of courage, patience, and foresight. He knew that the next secret would be more complex and perhaps even more demanding. The mountains were quiet, but the ship glowed softly as if waiting. Amin felt a connection to it, understanding that it had chosen him for a reason. He was no longer just a hiker who had found a metal ship in a dried-up river. He was a learner, a guardian, and a participant in something extraordinary. As night fell, Amin looked at the stars and made a silent promise. He would continue to learn, to guide the ship's knowledge wisely, and to protect the secrets it held. The world might be shocked by what was revealed, but he understood that patience, wisdom, and courage would be necessary for the journey ahead. The glow of the ship illuminated the riverbed, and Amin felt ready for the next challenge. The adventure was far from over, but he knew that he was prepared to face whatever mysteries the ship had in store. The journey was becoming greater than he had ever imagined, and the lessons he learned would shape the path for the future. The next morning, Amin woke to the soft light of dawn. The mountains were calm, and the dried riverbed stretched silently before him. The metal ship rested quietly, glowing faintly with the soft blue light that had become familiar. Amin felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Yesterday had been a challenge, a test of courage and wisdom. Today, he knew, they would uncover the ship's final secrets. The scientists were already awake, preparing their instruments. Dr. Saman spoke quietly to Amin. Today we will attempt to unlock the last chamber. The ship has tested your focus and courage. Now it may reveal the ultimate knowledge it has preserved. Amin nodded, his heart beating faster. He understood the responsibility that lay ahead. The world would soon see what they discovered, but only if they approached it carefully and wisely. The team arranged the metallic sheets in a new formation, more complex than before. Amin noticed that the symbols glowed immediately as they were positioned. The ship responded to their presence, vibrating gently, and the hum filled the air with a low, harmonious tone. The glowing device at the center floated higher than before, and the voice spoke. You have shown courage, wisdom, and patience. You are ready for the final secret. Approach with understanding and respect. The knowledge within may change the world, but it must be used with care. Amin stepped closer, feeling the warmth of the ship's energy. A new compartment slowly opened on the side of the device, revealing a large crystalline structure. Its surface shimmered like liquid light, and Amin felt drawn to it. The voice spoke again. This crystal contains the knowledge of civilizations, discoveries, and wisdom gathered over millennia. What is revealed here will challenge what you know and inspire what you may create. Amin reached out gently. As his fingers touched the crystal, a surge of light spread across the riverbed. The hum became a musical resonance, filling the air with a sense of harmony. Holographic images appeared above the crystal, larger and more vivid than any before. Amin could see landscapes, cities, and people. He saw inventions beyond imagination, technologies that harnessed energy from the sun, the wind, and the stars without harming the world. The voice spoke again. This is the culmination of knowledge preserved for those who seek wisdom. It includes guidance for creating a world where people and nature thrive together. It is not a map for domination, but a path for harmony and progress. Amin watched in awe. He saw cities floating above oceans, powered by clean energy. People worked together, building machines and infrastructure that supported life rather than destroying it. He could see education spreading to every corner, children learning and creating freely, and communities helping each other during disasters. Amin realized that the ship was showing them a possible future, one where knowledge was used wisely. Dr. Saman and Nabil were speechless. Cameras, scanners, and recorders captured every detail, but nothing could truly convey the beauty and clarity of what Amin was witnessing. Dr. Saman whispered, "This is beyond science. This is a guide for a better world. Whoever learns from this knowledge can make a difference that lasts for generations." The images shifted, showing the dangers of misuse. Cities crumbled when greed and carelessness prevailed. Machines meant for creation became destructive tools. Communities collapsed when trust and cooperation were lost. Amin felt the weight of responsibility. He understood that this knowledge was powerful, and it could be used for great good or great harm. The voice spoke once more, clear and calm. The choice is yours. You may preserve this knowledge and share it responsibly. The world will hear of your discovery, but only those with wisdom may access its full potential. Use it to guide, teach, and protect. Amin turned to the scientists. "We must be careful," he said. "This knowledge can change everything. We cannot let it fall into the wrong hands. We must share it slowly and wisely, guiding others to use it for good. Dr. Saman nodded. You are right, Amin. We will document everything, but we must plan how to share it. This is more than a discovery. It is a responsibility. Amin focused back on the crystal. He realized that the ship had chosen him for a reason. His curiosity, patience, and courage had allowed him to unlock its secrets. The knowledge within the crystal was not just information, it was guidance, a lesson, and a vision for the future. The crystal projected one final image. A group of people standing together, holding light in their hands. They represented unity, cooperation, and understanding. Amin felt a surge of hope. He knew that if humanity could follow the lessons of the ship, the world could become a place of peace, creativity, and harmony. The glowing device lowered back to its platform, and the crystal dimmed slightly. The hum became gentle again, as if the ship were resting. Amin carefully stepped back. He understood that the day's work was not over. They had seen the ultimate knowledge, but now the challenge was how to use it wisely. Dr. Saman spoke softly. Amin, you have done more than anyone could imagine. You have unlocked knowledge that may guide humanity for centuries. Your responsibility is great, but so is your ability to lead and teach. Amin felt a mixture of pride, awe, and determination. He realized that his life had changed forever. He was no longer just a hiker who had stumbled upon a strange ship. He was a learner, a guardian, and a guide. The world would soon know of this discovery, but he understood that wisdom and careful planning would be necessary to ensure it was used for good. The team decided to spend the night near the ship. They documented everything, wrote notes, and discussed the lessons they had learned. Amin walked to the edge of the riverbed, looking at the mountains and the stars above. He felt a deep sense of peace. The ship had revealed its secrets, and now it was up to them to protect and use that knowledge wisely. As night fell, the crystal glowed softly, and the hum of the ship filled the air with a sense of calm. Amin sat near it, thinking about the journey he had taken. From the moment he had discovered the ship in the dried-up river, his life had been transformed. He had faced fear, learned patience, discovered wisdom, and unlocked knowledge that could change the world. He understood that the adventure was not over. The ship had more secrets, perhaps even beyond what they could comprehend. But he also knew that the lessons learned today would guide them through future challenges. Amin made a silent promise to himself. He would protect the knowledge, share it responsibly, and guide others to use it wisely. The mountains were quiet, but the ship glowed softly in the darkness. Amin felt connected to it, understanding that this was more than a discovery. It was a gift, a responsibility, and a path to a better future. He knew that the world would be shocked by what they had found, but he also understood that patience, courage, and wisdom would ensure that the discovery was used for the greater good. As the night deepened, Amin closed his eyes, feeling the hum of the ship and the gentle glow of the crystal. He realized that he had become part of something extraordinary, a journey that would change the world, and that the lessons of courage, patience, and wisdom would guide humanity for generations to come. The dried-up riverbed remained silent. The mountains stood tall, and the metal ship rested in the sand, holding knowledge beyond imagination. Amin smiled, knowing that he had discovered something that would be remembered forever, and that the world, when ready, would benefit from the wisdom the ship had shared. Amin felt hope for the first time in a long while. The ship's secrets were no longer hidden, and humanity had a chance to learn from them. He knew the journey had been long, but the reward was far greater than he had ever imagined. He stood up, looking at the glowing ship, and whispered a promise to protect, guide, and share the knowledge for the good of the world. The mountains and stars watched silently as Amin began the next chapter of his journey, knowing that discovery, responsibility, and hope had come together in a way that would forever change the world.